and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 23 team preview video from me, Holly Shand of Fantasy Football Community. Just want to start by saying a big thank you to everyone who's subscribed to the channel. Recently hit 4,000 subscribers since the last video, so I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone. And if you are new, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, because all of your support going forward is really appreciated. If we start with how things went in game week 22 then, it wasn't the best game week for me. It was one of those where all of the high ownership players that I didn't own managed to score, so the likes of Tammy Abraham, Marcus Rashford and Danny Ings, and that really punished me. So 53 points isn't too bad considering none of my players scored. Obviously my captain did deliver. I went Vardy in the end over KDB. So I did get some points there, but De Bruyne, obviously, in hindsight, was the better option. A couple of assists there, an assist for Salah, and then I did all right for clean sheets as well. So on my last video, I was discussing goalkeeper replacements for Nick Pope. Absolutely made the right decision replacing him. I very nearly went Fabianski. Thank goodness I didn't. I think it was the law of the double game week, but we shouldn't be clouded by that. But no one could have predicted that he could have got injured. I also considered Matty Ryan, but because Henderson had a better fixture and a better long-term fixture schedule, I went with him in the end. 6 points, doubled up on that Sheffield United defence, and was very happy with that. So I actually had a big green arrow after the Friday night games, and then it got gradually worse throughout the weekend, ending with Kevin De Bruyne on Sunday. Because he wasn't my captain, even his points resulted in red arrows for me. But I'm determined to look forward. I've been a bit stuck still in terms of rank for the last few weeks. So I jumped into the top 500k around game week 15, and I've not made a lot of headway in the last 4 or 5 weeks. I feel like I'm moving one step forward, one step back, but I'm hoping to make some gains, particularly with that double game week coming up for Liverpool, because other managers are scrabbling around trying to get 3 Liverpool players in, taking hits, and I'm already in that position where I've got 3 Liverpool players in my team. I've also got 2 free transfers this week, so I'm really pleased with that. The thing I'm struggling at the moment with is the fact that I've got Muset as my third striker. I did get the early team news last week, so I was able to bench him in place of Cantwell. It did only get me an extra point in the end. But yeah, he's not been the greatest asset. I have tried to be a bit flexible with formation, but obviously now I do think he'll probably play in game week 23 because he was benched in game week 22. Arsenal away, the fixture is okay, but it's just so inconsistent. I think I'll keep him for 1 more week, but I would like to move him on very soon. The other player that I've got a key issue with in my squad is Rico, who lost his place ahead of game week 22. So I'm now with a rotation of 4 players in which I have to play one, but I'm now down to 3 players to choose from each week, really, out of Kelly, Cantwell and Muset. Not much money in the bank, but the key move that I'm going to make this week, I might actually make it as I'm recording, is moving out Jimenez for Danny Ings. Okay. Now, it's been a bit of a tough decision, this one, because Jimenez has been so consistent. He's been doing enough to stay in my side. But the thing is with Jimenez at the moment is that he has been a little bit inconsistent. Wolves haven't been scoring a lot of goals, and the fixtures are turning. I mean, in the next 6 is Liverpool, Manchester United, Leicester and Spurs. Whereas Danny Ings has really been punishing me for not owning him. He's got excellent fixtures as well, other than Liverpool away in game week 25. But I wouldn't be put off by that. His old employers, anything could happen in that game. I think there's a bit of a rivalry going on between Southampton and Liverpool because of so many academy players that Liverpool have bought from Southampton. So I wouldn't bet against Danny Ings not to score in that game either. So I think I'll probably just make that one transfer. I would like to move Muset on as well. He did actually drop in price before I recorded this video. I'm recording on Monday, he dropped on Sunday, which does make it more difficult. But in terms of forwards that I would like to get, it's a little bit of a stretch to the ones that I would like, but I'm interested in more pay. It'd be great to get him this week ahead of Aston Villa at home, but the longer term fixtures for Brighton are excellent as well. Thing is, he hasn't scored since game week 17. The other option would be Calvert-Lewin. Again, great fixtures over the next 4. But he does look a little bit short term because the fixtures then do turn, although probably Liverpool home game in 30 is probably the big one to fear for him. But he's been in great form. He's had 3 goals so far under Ancelotti and he's getting 90 minutes all the time. So he could be a bit of a bargain as well. So I think it's more pay that I'm slightly drawn towards because of the fact that he's got the fixtures. I could move Rico out and then go for someone like Williams at Manchester United, who seems to have got the place ahead of Luke Shaw. I don't know whether that's because Luke Shaw's been injured or whether Shaw will come in after this one, but he has looked great and he has had a goal and an assist so far this season. So I could make those moves right now for a -4, but I never really like making moves that involve a hit for a defender. I'll probably be priced out of them by the time it comes to game week 24, but I could potentially get funds out of Soyuncu instead to fund an upgrade in my striker slot. But it seems a little bit unnecessary for this week, so I think the only move I'm going to make is the transfer for Danny Ings. So I'm going to do that right now as I'm recording the video. Jimenez out, Ings in, confirmed transfers. Now, I'm not often a fan of early transfers, but Southampton haven't got a game midweek. I've got 2 free transfers, so if it was all to fall down on me, I can do some surgery with that extra transfer. And I think Ings was going up in price and probably Jimenez was going down in price. So this is loosely my team for game week 23. I've got that same issue of do I play Cantwell or Musette. I'm obviously not going to play Kelly against Manchester City away, and Rico probably won't get a game. I am tempted by Cantwell over Musette. It's going to be a bit of a tricky one to get right, but I just feel like Cantwell's more secure of getting 90 minutes at the moment, so that's what's leaning me towards him. In terms of the captaincy, it's wide open. Looking at my squad now, I could give it to Vardy, Ings, De Bruyne, Salah or Mane. Burnley have been very poor, but I'm just not convinced by Leicester at the moment. I think they've had a few games that have been halted by injury or rotation, but Vardy hasn't quite got back on it yet since he's returned after a bit of a spell outside of the team. So I don't know whether I trust him with the armband away from home. Kevin De Bruyne, a good option, but then Crystal Palace haven't been awful defensively. They've only conceded 1 goal a game in their last 6 games. So I know that Manchester City are probably the best team in the league from an attacking perspective, but I don't think Palace are going to be pushovers. I do actually really like the look of Danny Ings for the captaincy. I probably should be giving it to one or Salah or Mane, but it's hard to know which one. So I may leave it like that. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. In terms of triple Liverpool, I'm there already. If you aren't already on that, I would get on it ASAP. In terms of whether to double up on the attack or the defence, I think it comes down to team value. So if you look at my team value is now at 105.6. I think if you've got a team value of 104 to 105, you can just about do it. But under 104, it's difficult. And even in my position, this is meaning that I'm having to basically play Cantwell every week. I do think that's okay this week, Bournemouth at home, but going forward it is something that I'm going to want to rectify. But in terms of Liverpool assets, you're going to want to hold them basically to the rest of the season. They may have a blank in there somewhere caused by FA Cup, going deep into the Cup if they can get that far. The defence has been pretty good though. If you think they've had 6 clean sheets on the bounce now, I don't think it's a bad thing to double up in the defence, but I just think it's far more exciting to double up on their attackers instead. Right, I hope you've enjoyed the video. As I've said, if any support for the channel is hugely appreciated, so if you're not already subscribing, please do. I'm going to try and get through as many of your questions that you leave in the comments before the Game Week 23 deadline. I'll also be on the official FPL show this Thursday, so if you've got access to that, please tune in. Good luck everyone for Game Week 23.